Hello students, today I'll start with coordination compounds from class 12 syllabus. Today is just the introduction of coordination compounds, and only this part or only this video is there in your syllabus for first unit test. Okay? So let's start with coordination compounds. I will this video, first I'll just give you the example of a reaction and then I will teach you what are coordination compounds. Okay, what actually happens is that if you react ammonia with a green solution of NiCl2. What is NiCl2? Okay, if you pass ammonia or add an aqueous solution of ammonia to NiCl2, you will see a new complex ion of Ni ammonia whole 6 2 plus is obtained, and the green color is basically of nickel 2 plus. The green color of NiCl2 is basically of Ni2 plus. That green color is discharged and we will get a purple color solution. As soon as evaporation or on evaporating this purple color solution, we will get crystals of this complex salt. These type of complex portion ions or complex cations or this type of complex compounds, neutral compounds, are known as coordination compounds. Now you can ask me a question that why they are known as coordination compounds. What is there in this type of compounds that they are known as coordination compounds? You must have learnt about coordinate bonds in class 10. What does coordinate bonds means? In coordinate bonds, an electron rich system will donate both the electrons, or an electron rich system consisting of a lone pair of electron, it will donate the entire lone pair of electron to an electron deficient system. Here also this type of things takes place, or this type of reactions occur. What happens in this type of compound? See, nickel's valency is +2. Then how can it combine with 6 other ammonia? This complex compounds or coordinate compounds have nothing to do with the valency. No, it will do. Valency is important, but with the help of valency, we will just understand that which system is electron rich or which system is electron deficient. But the formation of compounds has nothing to do with valency. Let's see the structure of that compound. There are 6 NH3. There are 6 NH3. Nickel is 2 plus. Nickel has vacant orbitals. What will these 6 NH3 do? This 6 NH3 will donate electrons. Will donate electron pairs completely, thereby forming 6 coordinate bonds. So this type of compounds are known as coordination compounds. Okay, these central atom. Then how can you say that which are coordination compounds or which are not coordination compounds? How can you understand that coordination bonds takes place in a compound? The important point here is, for coordination compounds, the central metal ion has to be electron deficient. Has to be electron deficient, and second point is it must have vacant orbitals. Why it must have vacant orbitals? Otherwise, where will it take all the electrons from the donors? So The central metal ion has to be electron deficient and must contain vacant orbitals for taking the electron pairs. And what these donor atoms should have? These donor atoms should have lone pair of electrons. These donor atoms should have lone pair of electrons. Otherwise, how will it donate electrons to the metal ion? Okay? These type of compounds are known as coordination compounds, where the metal which is electron deficient is known as the central metal ion, and the ligands, the donor atoms, means the donor entities here. Actually, in ammonia, N is the donor atom. In ammonia, N is the donor atom. But the entire ammonia is known as ligand. The entire ammonia is known as ligand. Like this, the molecules which donate electrons are known as ligands, and the metal to which it donates electrons are known as central metal ion. Okay? And this entire system is known as complex entity or coordination complex or coordination sphere or coordination entity. This entire system is known as. Okay? Now I will come to three types of complexes. There are cationic complexes, one example is nickel NH3 2+, which I have shown before. Another example is chromium NH3 3+, means the complexes which have a positive charge. Anionic complexes, these are anionic complexes, and there are neutral complexes. Anionic complexes means having negative charge, and neutral complexes, those complexes which do not have any charge. So cationic complexes have positive charge, anionic complexes have negative charge, and neutral complexes have zero charge or no charge. Next, I will come to an important part, which is the type of ligands. First is the monodentate ligand. Monodentate ligand's example is ammonia. See, here there is only one donor atom. Water, only one donor atom, which is the oxygen atom of water. Only one donor atom. So the ligands which have only one donor atom are known as monodentate ligands. Next is multidentate or polydentate. Among multidentate, we can first say bidentate ligands. Bidentate ligands are those ligands which have two donor atoms. I can give you an example of bidentate ligand. Ethylene diamine. See, it has two nitrogen atoms and so two donor sites. If there are three donor sites, then it is a tridentate ligand. 4 donor sites, then tetradentate ligand, and 6 donor sites, then hexadentate ligand. Let's give you an example of a hexadentate ligand. This is important, okay? Hexadentate ligand. Okay, I will show you the 6 donor sites. See, nitrogen donor sites and 4 oxygen donor sites. 4 oxygen donor sites and 2 nitrogen donor sites. This is a hexadentate ligand, example of a hexadentate ligand. Okay. Now I'll come to another part. Chelating ligand. This is an important part, okay, or interesting you can say. Copper. Just look at this compound. Just look at this coordination compound. There are 2 ethylene diamine molecules. Both the ethylene diamines are bidentate. You all know before this only I have showed you that this is ethylene diamine. It has 2 donor sites. If 2 ethylene diamine molecules are taken, then there are 4 donor sites. Just look into this part. Just one part. See, it has formed a ring, or if you just look into this part, it has formed a ring with the metal ion. These type of compounds which form a ring with the metal ion are known as chelating. These ligands are known as chelating ligands, and the complexes are known as chelate complexes. These are much more stable than the single monodentate ligand complexes, and this more stability of the chelate complexes is known as chelate effect. Okay, and remember one thing, that chelate complexes or chelating ligands are only multidentate ligands. No monodentate ligands can form chelate complexes because they have only one donor site. How will they form the ring with the metal ion? The last type of ligands is the ambidentate ligands. Ambidentate ligands. These ligands are the ligands which have 2 different donor sites. For example, ACN minus. ACN minus can donate metal ion through sulfur donor site and also through nitrogen donor site. So these are known as HCN minus is known as ambidentate ligand because the same ligand has 2 different donor sites and it can coordinate with the 2 different donor sites only. Another example is nitro. Nitro ligand also has 2 donor sites. One is the nitrogen donor site and other is the oxygen donor site. So nitro ligand is also known as ambidentate ligand. Okay, this is more or less about the denticity of ligands, and till this is your first unit test syllabus. Okay, and in the next video I'll just tell the answers which are there in the worksheet. I'll just solve the worksheet, or I'll show you the location of the answers which are present for the questions in the worksheet. Okay, so in the next video I'll just tell the worksheet questions. Thank you.